Hi, I'm Michelle Hayward. I'm the CEO of Bluedog. We're a growth consultancy, so that means we solve complicated problems for complex organizations. And that means that we're often asked tough questions like, what's the future of business? What business am I in? What are people willing to pay more for in the future? Or could you find me a partition in my portfolio that might unlock several $100 million? So we get the tough questions. I would say the two things that are really inherently challenging in business today, and you probably hear the first one from everybody, is talent. Where do you find great people? How do you train them quickly and get them onboarded? And the second, one of the reasons for that great talent being so necessary and so urgent is that it's constant business disruption. And that's the second big challenge that we're really faced with every day, is fast changing dynamics that are making it necessary for us to do different things and answer new problems in business that are different than the problems we maybe addressed even 6 months ago. It was a while ago, but the advice that I was given that was super impactful, and I didn't like it at the time, was to be ruthless. And it took me a while to figure out what that means for me, but it means that I'm ultimately responsible for driving a clear vision that everybody can get behind, that I'm responsible for protecting the culture and making sure people understand what we value and how to behave in that culture. It's about weathering the storm. So you gotta hold perseverance pretty strongly if you're weathering a storm. And you need to be able to get up every day and put on your game face and be a strong leader that is visible to the entire culture internally and the world outside. There are many qualified opinions out in the world that women running businesses need to lean into kindness, or they need to strive harder or work like men, etc. And I think maybe there's a little bit of truth in everything, but what I've really learned to value and what I preach is that the most valuable thing you can do in business is build a track record. This is our 20th year in business, and we have a rich portfolio. We've answered maybe every business question that's been asked to date. I'm sure there'll be new ones facing us tomorrow. But that track record is what sets us apart, and that track record is also what informs how we approach business tomorrow. There are several things that really do differentiate us from our competitors. What we talk about internally is that we're the inside-out people. And we're asked, of course, what does that mean? And I think what it means is how we approach a problem is often from the perspective of what's happening inside a culture and organization. So we're very concerned with what is it that we're going to do that will make the outcome that we're striving for together meaningful and actionable inside that company. So the foil to that is that many of our competitors are selling frameworks that they're selling across the board to every company out there. And those frameworks, of course, have some inherent value, no doubt, but they aren't often landed in a particular way within a particular context of a particular company. And I think that's inherently flawed. The second thing that makes us really unique in our business is that we talk a lot about being human forward. So because we're solving problems that are really relevant to the insides of these companies, you can imagine that that's quite bespoke. And as we look to customize our product and our outcomes within these companies, we have to do that in a way that's super human-centric. And so we have to practice things like deep listening. And we talk about being pure of heart and caring deeply about the people that we're serving and the outcomes that we're landing. The key indicators of a strong business culture are pretty easy to see. If you're starting from a place of known and understood and practiced values that everyone in the company should be living and defending on a daily basis, then I think as you look around every day and you see how people are behaving with those values in mind, it's pretty easy to see if the business culture is being upheld in a way that is really driving value for your business.